Hey, friend, welcome back to Mic Drop, the mini series from Leadership Beyond the Title, where I give you short, powerful lessons to help you lead with more clarity, confidence, and realness in less than 10 minutes. Today's Mic Drop is all about what you should be sharing with your team because too many leaders are keeping things too close to the chest and then wondering why their team feels disconnected or that they're confused. So let's fix that. So, the first thing you should always be sharing with your team as a leader is the vision early and often. You cannot say the vision one time at an all hands and then expect everyone to just be aligned. You've got to repeat it. You have to tie it to your team's projects, the day-to-day work that they're doing, and show them how their work supports the bigger picture. I do a lot of change management. I actually have a certification in ProSci, which is a change management specifically kind of certification. And it talks about how one of the things we learn is how leaders get wrong where they think if they get on stage or they write an email and they talk about the vision, that everyone just gets it and they just know what to do and how to do it. But that is where change management programs or change management initiatives die. When you just do it one time and you don't go back to repeat it, you don't allow people to see how it's actually being played out in day-to-day work, because people need to know what they're doing, but they also need to know why it matters. So you have to continuously repeat it early, and often, all the time. Yes, you are going to be a broken record, but you have to be to get people on board. This is also how you get buy-in and not just compliance, because people want to see themselves in the vision. And so when you're constantly repeating it and you're pointing out how they're playing a role, this is the part that's helpful. So that's the first thing. The second thing you have to always be sharing is what's changing. If there is a shift in direction, if there's a leadership change, if there's a new process, tell your people, let them know what it is. Don't hold that. Don't gatekeep, because what you don't want people to do is start making assumptions and starting creating these stories that aren't true. So you need to be upfront and tell them. Even if you don't have all the answers yet, say that. Transparency isn't about perfection, it's about trust. Silence and not saying anything creates the anxiety, but when you give a lot of information, it creates stability. And so you want to give as much information as you can, and what's changing also early and often. The third thing is what's going well. You should be, as a leader, you should be catching people doing things right. So often we wait for performance reviews or we wait for huge milestones, and that's just not enough. No. If someone crushed a client presentation or they helped a teammate behind the scenes, say it. Say it in meetings when everybody is there. Say it, to them one-on-one. Send them an email. We used to have this thing called applause, where you can send like these virtual like cards or virtual points, and the points got translated into actual kind of like goods and things. Like you can buy a camera, or you can buy, I always used to buy stuff like an iPad. Like I used to save my points for that. So you want to be able to like give them the recognition. A lot of people are looking for that recognition, that validation of their work. And so sharing what's going well helps to build the morale as well. So be always sharing what's going well to your team members. And then the fourth thing is what you are working on. Yes, you. Let your team in on what's on your plate. It's not about oversharing. It's just modeling. It's modeling the behavior of like seeing work happen and allowing your teammates to also see how work is moving through the system, how things are being done, what you're working on. So they know like, oh, the boss has a lot on her plate or his plate, and I could possibly help. This also like opens up that opportunity for your employees to raise their hands for things and say what they need help or say how they want to be involved. It gets them the buy-in. So you want to share that, because when your team sees that you're learning, you're navigating challenges and thinking more strategically, they feel more connected and more empowered to do the same thing. You know, your role modeling kind of sets the tone for how they're going to work as well. Leadership isn't about being untouchable. We think of an org chart and we think, oh, they're at the top, so we can't touch them. We can't talk to them. We can't. No. In my last job, it felt that way. Like, oh, I can't get to the senior leaders. I'll never be able to talk to them, blah, 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 blah. I recently worked with a client who literally took the opportunity of seeing a very high, C-suite leader at a kind of a offsite and asked them if they would be willing to have a conversation, and they set that conversation up. A 30-minute conversation turned into repeating quarterly meetings. And my client is not all the way at the top of the org chart, but can you imagine what this is about to do for them in their career? Like, this is what I'm talking about. So don't be untouchable as a leader. Allow your people to get to know you, because you want to be human and you want to be very intentional about how you are bringing them along. So if you want to lead with trust, consistency, and clarity, start sharing the vision, the changes, the wins, and your own journey. Because leadership is a relationship, and relationships thrive on honest communication. Now, if this episode helped, send it to another leader who needs the reminder. And if you're ready to stop over functioning and just doing the most and start leading with purpose and being visible, book a one-on-one coaching call through the link in the show notes. I'll help you build the leadership rhythm that gets your team aligned and gets you seen as the leader that you are. See you next time on Mic Drop.